Jonathan, I've had people ask if we give worse terms to our first-time borrowers. What would you say to that?
That's a really good question. I think the answer is we do not give worse terms to first-time borrowers, but we do give good terms to borrowers that we have a good track record with. And I think a lot of people might think of those things the same way, but from our perspective, they're really not the same thing. So if you're a first-time borrower, you're working with us for the first time, you're going to basically get our generic terms. You're going to get how we give out a loan. But, I think people can understand from our perspective, if we have worked with somebody on 10 different deals over the course of a year or 2 years, and they come to us with a new loan and it's really good, we're naturally going to be motivated to give them more favorable terms because we want to kind of express appreciation for the good job they've done in the past, and also give them a reason to stick around and keep coming to us with new loans. So in that sense, we really do give good terms and better terms than our normal terms to our really good long-term borrowers who have a great track record with us. But I wouldn't frame it as giving worse terms to our first-time borrowers. We really just are more favorable to those people who have a proven relationship. And as far as how do you get to that place with us or another lender of how do they kind of respect you and want to give you favorable terms, I think the number one thing I would say is communicating regularly. You can have a loan go the exact same with two different people, but if one of them is unresponsive throughout that process, from our perspective, we are starting to get a little antsy and a little scared because this person's not communicating with us and we don't know what the property looks like. And so they may come over to us and say, hey, we're going to pay off this loan now, and everything is totally fine, but we still had that experience of not knowing what was going on. And for us, that's a bad experience. Whereas somebody could do a deal in the exact same way, but if we get regular communication with them, if there's any kind of delay, if they tell us about it, that's a great experience for us. In fact, a deal can actually go poorly, and if you communicate well, we will be very happy to do another loan with you. So that's really the way I would explain it is if we have a high level of trust in you, we're going to be motivated to give you good loans.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value in just having a extended relationship or a relationship in general with our borrowers. I mean, I would think the biggest thing on my end has been speed. It allows us to, not that we don't hit the steps still, but it allows us to move through a lot of steps much, much quicker. So if we already know their experience, and if they have an LLC, for example, we already have their LLC docs, we already know how their credit is, we can just kind of get through a lot of those pieces much, much quicker and just go ahead, and if it's a good deal, it's a good deal. But I mean, a good deal with a bad borrower or a new borrower or somebody not communicating is often a no-go. Whereas if it's a not so good deal with a great borrower, we'll probably take a chance on that one.
Yeah, totally agree. If you're interested in learning more, go to UrbanGateCapital.com.